What up, YouTube? Asian Persuasion here with my boy Slim.
You already know.
Doing these YCS Memphis profiles. We're with who and what did you do today, buddy?
Jesse Flores, and I got top 16 with 60 card hero Gem Knight FTK.
Holy
what?
Nikes, Batman. We can't even put that in the title, but we're going to put Gem Knight FTK something in there.
60 card Gem Knight FTK.
Card Gem Knight FTK.
Broken.
All right,
let's see what you played, man.
All right, I played 3 of the best monster in the whole deck. 3, a Block Dragon. This card's really good. Other Gem Knight players are usually blockheads, but a good thing to do with this is it lets you play around Ghost Ogre when you're going for the FTK, because what people do, they'll Ghost Ogre your guy that copies, like kind of like similar to the Supreme King. So like after you combo off, you want to summon him again so you can play around Ghost Ogre. And another thing is when you sit from the field to the graveyard, you can add up to 3 rock monsters from deck to hand. Yeah, 3.
The hell?
3. Better than Master Play. That equal level 8. And then he can be summoned as many times from the graveyard as long as you can banish 3 earth monsters from graveyard or hand.
Let's see, once per turn summon.
Yeah,
That's insane.
We're throwing some Garnets, 3 Tourmaline, 2 Lapis. I play this one because there's a good extra deck monster that you can use, but I don't main it. And this guy, because you have to play it for the burner. 3 Monster Reborn for these guys, and 3 Monster Reincarnation for these guys. 3 Stratos for Gem Knight monsters. I didn't really like this card. I might play 2 in the future. I just don't really like. I'd rather just like summon a Lone Fire or like a Rabbit. On that, I played 3 Rabbit. I felt like 5 monsters was a good ratio. I didn't want to play 3 of this card, but I'm not gonna like the ARG list. I'm not gonna play 1. I just think that's a little like risky. I play the Scorpio engine. I play 3 Lone Fire, 3 Scorpio, and different than anyone else, I play 2 Cobra. So
you are a god.
Shout out to Ediception. I watched his Dino profile and he said 2 Garnets. So this is my only Garnet in my deck. Weird. But I can't tell you how many times I opened one of these guys with this. And in there. Then for I played 2 Hand Traps. I played 2 Ghost Ogre. I had 2 spots left in the deck, so I decided to throw these in. It can also be a combo piece that came up as a light monster fusion summon for Seraphim.
Oh, okay.
For my last 2 1-ups, it's Crystal Rose. This card comes up a lot with Block Dragon, so you search 2 3s and a 2. Its monster effect is pretty much Foolish Burial, and it can copy a name. So you can any Gem Knight monster in deck to graveyard, usually Lazuli, because you'll trigger its effect and then copy its name. That effect is a soft once per turn, so if you bring it back somehow, you can reuse it. And it's hard once per turn effect, you can banish a fusion monster from your graveyard and special summon it. And then for my last monster, I played 1 Elemental Hero Prisma.
Prisma, bro.
The problem, I topped the Fort Worth Regional with 40 card Gem Knights, and I felt like the problem with that deck is that you have to play all these cards still, but you never want to see a hand of like 4 or 5 of these guys. So like, I just said, pretty much just play 60 cards, play some more extenders and more ashable targets.
Yeah, a lot more.
You say a lot more ashable targets.
Also a light comes up. That is it for the monsters. Go on to the spells. 3 of the best spell cards in the whole deck. 3 Gem Knight Fusion. This card is really good against Pendulum, because when you're going second, you can just activate it, then negate it. Then you can activate it add it back from the graveyard, banishing a Gem Knight, and keep doing it until you can get over their whole board. This is the card you always want to see. If you don't see this card, you're probably not going to win the game. 3, the second best spell card in the deck, 3 Brilliant Fusion. Weirdly enough, I did not resolve this card that much, or just didn't even draw it. Usually it would just happen later in the combo. But this card in any Gem Knight monster is FTK. Now for the extenders, the 3 Hero Lives, 2 Unexpected Die. I didn't want to play 3 die because I didn't want to see too many combinations of these cards, but I feel like this is a healthy number. I feel like this card is more likely to get ashed than this, because if you just go first game 1 and activate this card, they're thinking Dark Law and they're going to ash it, and you just resolve it on fusion. 2 Unexpected Die. I played some going first and going second cards. I played 3 Called by the Grave because I want my FTK to go off. This card's actually good to set against a lot of decks, because like when they'll, like for example, Pendulum Magician, they'll go first Election Might, link off with it, and second one, and you Call the Grave it. You do it on the Supreme King. You do it against Draco when they have a little guy in the grave. 3 Chalice, because when people see 60 card decks, they're going to make Dweller, and it's just good going second. And once it gave me the 400 boost I needed to win.
That's crazy.
3 Pot of Desires, play 3 in every single deck that you ever play. And then for the spicy part about the deck, I played 3 Left Arm Offering, And
Yeah,
the
baby.
2 win buttons that go with it.
Oh.
Actually, I actually left arm for Brilliant Fusion a few times as well. And another cool interaction with this deck, I'll show you in the extra deck later, but you can banish Gem Knight monsters in your hand and shuffle them back for the Link Monsters effect.
That's crazy.
And then the next two one-ups, Foolish Burial and Monster Reborn. This card's actually really good with the Fusion monster. And Foolish Burial is pretty much just for Block Dragon, and then 1 Reasoning. This card, I'll never play it again.
Never played it again.
Nope, third ogre.
Third ogre, alright. Or Upstart, bro.
Upstart.
But they don't die.
Oh, you can't do Upstart.
Yeah, you're right.
Do that
And
one.
they don't die.
Alright, for the extra deck, I played 3 of the Lyrilisc and 3 Supreme King. Pretty much this card, you can pull any Gem Knight monster from your extra deck or main decks at the graveyard and burn 500 for each special summon monster in the field. It can only be special summoned once per turn, but you pretty much just foolish in each other. And 3 of the diamonds. This is pretty much Supreme King. You can banish any Gem Knight monster from your graveyard level 7 or lower. The fusion monsters and copy their effect. He gains 100 attack for each Gem Knight monster in your graveyard, which actually comes up. And then for the last 3 fusion monsters, play 1 Zirconia. This card gives you FTK with Brilliant Fusion to send Block Dragon. 1 Lone Fire from the extra deck, that's pretty much all it does. And then 1 Seraphinite because extra normal summon actually comes up. And fusion summoning with that Crystal Rose card is actually really good. That's it for the fusion monsters. Link monsters, 2 of the best Link monster in the whole set, and I'll always argue it over Election Might. On summon, this card searches any Gem Knight card in your deck, so you just search the best card in your deck, fusion, and then during, you pay 1,000 life points and fusion summon a Gem Knight monster in the graveyard or banished materials. So like, for example, like I said earlier, left arm, you left arm like 2 Gem Knight monsters away, you can make this guy, you can shuffle him back. Reaper targets, you always want to Reaper this card, because I played a match against someone, they Reaper this guy, all 3 of them, and I shuffled them all back and summoned another.
Damn, feels bad.
For the one-ups, 1 misses rated, you can link off with Block Dragon. 1 Star Yusha, this card actually has a really good interaction with Block Dragon, because I'll use Block Dragon as one of the materials, and I want my Block Dragon to resolve, so I'll make this card Channeling 1 and Star Yusha Channeling 2, so I get 3 searches no matter what. And for the last 2 cards, Curious and Link Spider. A lot of Gem Knight players don't play this card. I think the guy that won the ARG didn't play it. This card helps you get to Curious so fast. And Curious is really, really like impactful in this deck because when you can't see Block Dragon, you can send it.
It sends it. You're not wrong.
Just send the right card.
No changes for the extra deck. It's perfect. Change for the main deck, I'd probably just take out the Reason for the 3rd Ghost Ogre. Side deck, 1 Ghost Ogre, 3rd Ghost Ogre. This should be in the main deck over the Reasoning. 1 Ash. It was literally my 15th card in here. In the future, it's going to be 2 Ash. 3 Joel and Lockbird. I believe this is the best hand trap because Unexpected and Draco and Pendulum were the big decks of the weekend, and the Pendulum started picking up with like a Lure of Darkness and Upstart and stuff, so it pretty much just shuts down their whole turn. And another thing that's brutal about this card, it's the only card other than Maxi that's still legal that has hand trap the lingering effect, so it just lasts the whole turn. They make a subpart board and I FTK them. 3 Twin Twister for True Draco, 2 Typhoon. This card's for True Draco and for the Pendulum FTK. You can just hit this the Gate 0 or whatever, and they can't search Instant Fusion, and you can hit anti-spell with this. 3 Evenly Matched. I only saw it in my top 16 match and it didn't matter. And then I'm always an advocate of side decking extra deck cards because I always like having 17 extra deck cards opposed to 15. So I side deck 2 Going Second cards, 1 Prismura and 1 Borlo Dragon. I always sided out my Link Spider and my Curious Going Second and put these 2 cards in. This card, you can discard a Gem Knight card from your hand and destroy any face-up card in the field. And what's cool with him is you can copy him with this guy. So like whenever I wanted to clear boards, I'll just make both, make him, fusion off, make this guy, copy it again. And what you can do, another cool interaction, keep adding back Gem Knight fusion from graveyard and keep popping.
Yeah, that's actually.
And then Borlo Dragon is just a good Going Second card.
Shout out someone to give man.
Yep, shout outs to my sponsor, Silver Gem Games. Thank you, James, for all the cards you lent to me. Thank you to Steven. Thank you for lending me cards. Shout out to Epic Cards and Games. Shout out to my brother for driving me to here. And shout out to my girlfriend.
Brownie points.
Brownie points.
For sure, man. Well, congrats on your top 16 and thanks for having me.
Thank you for the day.